Hey there, welcome to Createful Art. It's Ashley Krieger here, and today I would love to show you how to paint this simple impressionistic lemon painting. If you haven't noticed, the lemons are trending this year. I don't know why, but they are. So we're gonna paint them. And I have a little jar here full of lemons to help me get inspired. I'm gonna show you all the steps and the techniques in this step-by-step tutorial. So let's get started with it. So you just need a few supplies. I'm using a panel right here. This is an 8x8. You can use paper, you can use a canvas, whatever you want. So you just need a few colors here. I have my primary colors that I used last time, which is the Thpalocyanne blue, the Quinacridone Magenta, the Cadmium yellow, the titanium white, and the ivory black. This is my Stay Wet palette. I love this palette. This has kept these colors wet for the last few weeks. I have a link to all the supplies I'm using in the description and a link to this. I have this set. This is also in the description. And I'm going to be using from this set the flat brush here, that's a size 9, the round brush here, that's a size 5, and the detail brush here, that's a size, where's your size? 4. And then I'm just going to use my wash brush. If you don't have one of these, you could just use from this set the size 11 of the flat brush. You just want something that's wide and flat. Then you need paper towels, and I have my water here, and that's it. You're ready to go. So super simple. For this lemon painting, I'm going to make a light pink background. Now you can make your background whatever color you want. This is Createful Art, so you get to be creative. Some colors you could choose are maybe the light blue or gray. Whatever you decide, or you can follow along. So I'm taking my white here, I'm adding a little bit of yellow and a little bit of my magenta. So for this color there's a little bit more yellow in it because it's a peach color. It's like a peachy pink color. Now I'm checking to see if my value's right, and I do that on my canvas here, and that's as dark as I want it. And you can see that it's a lot more peach, so I'm just going to add a little bit of pink in there, a little bit more, just little changes here and there, and then I can mix right over that. Now when I put my paint down, I like to just get it down. I just like to play. So cover your canvas, and then you're going to want to let that dry. For the composition, I'm going to take this size 5 brush that's a round, and I'm going to start placing my lemons on here. Now I'm going to create a teal color because, you know, that's one of my favorite colors. And I do that with my blue and a little bit of my yellow. And I can go as green as I want with that color, make it turquoise if I want. And then I can lighten that color as much as I want with the white. And that's the color that I want to get. Now if you want to sketch out your lemons before you put them on so that you place them correctly and get the right size, I would recommend using a watercolor pencil for that, and then you can just fill it in like I'm doing. So this is a quick painting, so I'm not going to get all perfect about it. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to round this corner off like this, and I'm making the shape of a lemon. So this shape goes up into that, comes down like this, and has a little round thing at the bottom. And I'm going to start overlapping these shapes, and that's going to create depth. So I'm going to take this lemon and I'm going to put it behind that lemon so I can pretend, and then come down here. See, and I don't care about that little squiggly line. This is just a loose painting, and even if I keep that, that's okay. Then I get the bottom. Now I'm going to create a lemon over here, somewhat in the middle section, but on the side here. Lemons are pretty easy because they're just ovals. And notice how they're all very similar in size, because lemons come on and they're all kind of the same size, right? When they're ready to be picked. And this is from a lemon tree. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it down here. Okay, so now I'm going to have some shapes that are coming off of the page, and they're the leaves. So again, I'm just going to be very loose, and this is all about composition. So I'm just going to put a leaf right here. And I'm going to put a branch coming from this one over to this one, just on the side here. It's going past it. And then I'm going to put the branch coming towards this lemon, because they gotta all be connected. And then I have this leaf that's coming out. And their leaves are long leaves. And they're just kind of fun and playful. They just have smooth edges. I like them. They're easy. So I'm just adding the leaves, the leaf shapes. Now I don't want all the leaf shapes to all be the same. That's not very interesting to look at. So you're gonna see me make some different shapes here. So this one's gonna be like a banana shape coming down here. Like that. And then I have this other one that's going off the page. Then I'm gonna have this one that's more thin, and it just is that type of shape. And I'm going to have one that's curled up. And if you ever run out of paint, just grab some more. And then you take that shape and you go across like that so it looks like it's bent. And then bring it back together for as long as you want this leaf to look. So you can take it a little bit longer if you want. I'm going to have some bigger ones right in here. And this is where you can be very creative and put your leaves wherever you want. It's just important to have some overlapping. So I'm going to have this overlapping this lemon. So it's going to end up covering some of this lemon, and that just gives it more depth, and that's what we're trying to do right here, show the depth. And then there's some blossoms going on here, so I need to make sure I have the stem so I can show that, and another stem and some blossoms. So I'm going to make the blossom come right over here in this corner. And again, I'm just using that same color. Very loose, just giving it petals. And that's it. That's what I'm doing for the blossom. Very simple. This doesn't have to be complicated. And usually the blossoms come in little clusters. So I'm going to make another one. Maybe, let me think on the composition here. Maybe like right here. Now you can see that we have some negative space right here, and that this has some full space. So there's lots of things going on here. So I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to give some blossoms right here. It doesn't matter how many petals. They just have a center and then they go out from that. I'm going to make just a couple things. So I want to make this a little more full over here. I'm going to have another leaf coming out like this, as if they're overlapping. I'm going gonna have another lemon right behind here. Some overlapping of shapes. Doesn't matter where they overlap. And some different shapes. So now you got the composition all outlined. Very simple. Now the thing is that you come in here and fill in these leaves with this color. This is a very simple step. I don't need to show you every little brush stroke because you're just filling it in as if you're coloring a page. Just kind of smoothing out some of those edges. So fill in all of your leaves. Alright, so super easy. That's the first layer. Now we're going to take our yellow and we're just going to take straight yellow and we're going to fill in our lemons. And you'll see that that undercolor shows through, right? We want that. That's going to help us with the shadow of these lemons. So you're basically just filling in the shape of the lemon. Again, like the leaves, just like it's a coloring page. Just fill it in. Now if you want a lesson on colors, and notice this is a transparent color, you'll learn those terms. You'll learn all about how to get the desired looks that you want. See, I knew that this was going to do this. That's why I chose this. You want to be able to make choices and understand paints so that you can create the looks you want. So that's why I give those weekly art lessons, and you can get those right there. Just weekly emailed art lessons that help you learn all the things you need to know to be a better artist. Clean out your brush. Now you're going to put white on the blossoms. So white is not a transparent color, it's more opaque. So you'll be able to cover some of this blue here. See how you can cover it? But you don't want to cover all of it. The blue part is giving this harmony and the style that it's at. So just make the shapes and don't worry about if there's any of that turquoise showing. And fill in your flowers. So now we're going to start layering and making some depth here. So I'm just going to grab my magenta, and this is still wet. My flowers are still wet and I want them to be wet. So I'm going to come in here in the mid-centers and I'm just adding some magenta. It's going to mix with some of that white and make some lighter areas. And I'm just poking little pokes. You can use your detail brush for this if you want a little more control. Right, so now I'm going to take my flat brush. I'm grabbing my yellow. I'm only going to use a little bit of yellow. And I'm going to come in here in my leaves and create some green areas. So I'm adding dimension, and I'm only going to add that to some areas. So just parts of my leaf. And I'll leave some of it not done. Okay, now I take this color, the color that I made, I add more blue to it, so it's darker, no white at all. And I come in here and I add the dark areas. So I'll come along right along this edge and down here. And you see how that gives it dimension? Come around this corner. I like to come in here and separate with the dark the shapes. So usually think which one's underneath. The one that's underneath will have more shadow. I'm going to just put this darkness in a few spots like this. And it doesn't really matter. See how that kind of looks cool just the way it was blobbed on. Having a few different shapes in there just makes it more interesting to look at. Now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to put some black on my brush, just a little bit, and I'm going to use this edge right here to create some lines. Now the lines for the lemons, or the stems I should say, or the branches, they are not perfect. They've got jags in them, so you really don't have to make a perfect line. I'm just going to be adding some black in these areas, and I can come in and I can give it notches if I want. See, like that, so that it looks more like a branch that has some notches right in here, because when it connects it's not perfect. So you can go between using this or using this. So this is for perfect lines, this is for not so perfect lines. And you can leave some of this area green, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go over that spot though, because that's got a flower over it. Okay, so you're just darkening these areas. Now because you've put some black on the branches, just add a little bit to the darkest area of your leaves. And this of course isn't going to be perfectly black because it's got some layers underneath it. You can switch from where you want that and see how that adds even more depth. Really cool how that works. Sometimes it's nice to just make the inside of the leaf. Sometimes it's nice to just pull some lines like this. It's really coming together, isn't it? Now we're on to the lemons. Now all the lemons need is a little bit more dimension. So we're going to take this round brush, and remember that peach color that we made? We're going to take that and we're just going to make it a little darker. This is going to add so much harmony to this painting. So we're just pretty much going up a value with that color, and we're going to add that into our lemons. And this is really going to pull this together. You're going to love this. So we're going to add it to like some of the shadow area. Notice I am not being perfect at all with my shapes here because a lemon is not perfect. If you look at a lemon, look at this, and look at how this is shaded on the end. So what we're doing is we're creating that darker value and letting the lemon be a little more imperfect. So just do a little bit. A little bit goes a long way here. So you could add it down here at the bottom part of the lemon. You could, so just, you know, see how the texture is in the lemon. You could come in here and just add a little bit of that texture by poking. Kind of depends on your style and what you want to do here. And anytime you don't like something, you just take the yellow and you go over it, or you blend it right in. So just take your brush. I'm going to just be playful with some big brush strokes here. Okay, so that was a transparent color because it's got the yellow in it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add an opaque color. So to do that, you have to have more white, because this yellow right here is opaque. So we're adding more white to it, but we're still making this a dark color. And we're going to go over some of that area with the more opaque color. See how that works? Just in a few areas. Now we add the more opaque yellow. So we take this yellow, we add white to it, make a nice clean color over here, a lemony color. Now this is where the light is shining. So now you take that color and you're going to add the light in there. And now it's starting to come together and look a little less cartoonish. So I'm going to come along this edge right here. And this is just a different look. You could have kept it the other way. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to have a lot on this side. And then right here. Right up against that dark area. So now you can take some straight white. This of course is going to blend with the colors here. And I like to go on the edges. I like to be like very strategic with this. Where would the light shine the most? Well, on the little funky bottoms and right here along this edge. Right on this side, right on the bottom here, along this side, on the bottom. So another thing I like to do is I like to take that color, and this is just for play, and come in here and add in some of that lemon texture. Where it connects, a little darker like that. So now this is, if you want to get more detailed, a little less on the impressionistic side, this is where you can go with that. But it's totally up to you, how far you want to go. See how I kind of just squiggled right there to get a lemon texture on that side? So fun to come in here with this darker color. No, the lemon's not really that color, but this is what makes this impressionistic and playful. But then I can take a lighter version of that color, come in here in spots, and really give these leaves more depth. So see how I'm layering, and with each and every layer it gets more and more interesting to look at, more playful, more finished looking, or more of a different look than what it had before. There's really no wrong place I could go with this. Where am I going to end? What am I going to do? That's all up to you as far as where you want to take it. Or be as free as you want with that. Fix anything that is bothering you. If you look at it and you're just like, I don't like how that looks right there. Just go ahead and change it. This is the time for personal preferences. So every one of the paintings from this tutorial that everybody does should look different, and will look different because we're all different. That's what's so fun about painting. When you're happy with your painting, go ahead and sign your work, and then you are done. Yay! This was super simple, wasn't it? So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you were just watching, let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you painted along, I'd love to see it. You can show me at Instagram at Createful Art if you're on Instagram. If you are a member, you can show me on Facebook in our groups. I'd love to see your guys' creations. If you want to learn more about painting and how to become a better artist, go ahead and click right over here and you can get my weekly art lessons and the reference photos to help you paint along with these. There's also other fun perks, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested, and you can watch more videos if you like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!